Hi everyone. So today's book, I think it's book number 35 or 36, and it's called Mindset by Carol Dweck, Dr. Carol Dweck. So if you look at the book, you can see how thick it is. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't read the whole book. Look at how thin, how small the print is. So for certain books, it's a 1 million copy bestseller. It says it's essential reading for anyone with aspirations. It's called About Changing the Way You Think to Fulfill Your Potential. So it says, discover the mindset for achieving success. Dr. Carol Dweck is widely regarded as one of the world's leading researchers in the fields of personality, social psychology, and developmental psychology. Her work has been featured in the publications as The New Yorker, The Times, and The Guardian. So sometimes when I'm looking at these books and I hear this book was recommended, this book is highly talked about, I think sometimes people get all these plaudits and it will say, yeah, it's a 1 million copy bestseller and that sort of thing. But I'm just going to be honest, because that's partly, I did read most of it, but I didn't read all of it. Okay. The two things that put me off when I first picked up this book was how tiny the print was. And there's so much information in there in each chapter that it already put me off. I mean, the chapters are really long. And the chapters, it goes into so much depth and I can hardly read it. I'm sort of having to strain to read because the print is so small. There's loads of information and those types of things put me off because I know that it's going to take me forever to read this book. And the information is so over too much that you're going to take ages then to... and there's lots of... there's some good things in here, okay? There's things around... There's things that you would already know about, between your growth mindset and someone with not a growth mindset, a fixed mindset. So I've given some, let's just do the notes. It's not going to be too long, this one, because as I said, I didn't read it all and there's too much in there. I gave it 8 out of 10 because it is a good book. I'm not saying it isn't, but I just feel that it's not the type of book that I could get into as much. So it says that sometimes people with a growth mindset, what does it say? Feel that they, I don't even know what I'm writing here. Oh, right. So it's the wrong way. So it's saying that you have a choice. Mindsets are just beliefs. So in the book, it talks about examples of how you can change your mindset. So you don't have to have a fixed mindset ever in life. You can change it anytime you want. You can decide that you want to see life as a challenge. So it gives examples of people like Christopher Reeve when he, was paralyzed when he fell off his horse, and how he was determined to do something about that and not listen to like what all the doctors said. And he still, although he passed away, he still had a life where he could do more than what was deemed possible. So he didn't have a fixed mindset. He said, this is what I'm going to do. My growth mindset means that I'm going to prove the doctors wrong. It also talks about children. So there was a chapter talking about puzzles where 2 groups of children were given difficult puzzles to solve. Some children enjoyed it, but then when the puzzles were made harder, children with the fixed mindset struggled, but children with the growth mindset saw it as a challenge to learn and overcome. And it says becoming is better than being. People with a fixed mindset do not allow themselves the luxury of becoming. They have to already be. So people with a fixed mindset will just say, well, this is how it is. This is who I am. I can't change this. There's nothing I can do. So they remain stuck in a lot of situations. Whereas people with a growth mindset say, this is where I am at the moment, but I can become much more. And that's depending on what I do, how I develop as a person. So it's all about, it's saying that, you have a choice. Just you can seek challenges and you can thrive on it. The bigger the challenge, the more you'll stretch yourself. So it's the whole book really is just about lots of examples of champions. There's a lot of athletes and, celebrities stories in there. People who've got through tough times in their life due to their mindset. It says that those with a growth mindset found success in doing their best, in learning and improving. And this is exactly what we find in champions. Those with the growth mindset found setbacks motivating. So they're a wake-up call. So anyone with a growth mindset, basically, you look at life differently. So you never see failure as a bad thing. You never see a challenge or something that's difficult as an issue. You see it as, right, I'm going to, and this is what something that when I'm working as a coach or a counselor, this is like literally the stuff I'm constantly trying to work with my clients. It's about saying that although you're in a position right now where you're struggling, whether it's with anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, or whatever it is, this isn't the end of your journey. This isn't not where you have to stay. And it's not even so much a mindset situation with someone who's really in a state of distress. It's to do with the trauma that is keeping them there. It's to do with how they're feeling, that the emotion is overwhelming and they can't go past that. So it's not necessarily their mindset to say that they don't want to go there, but it still all fits in. Because whenever you're in a fixed state of mind, a fixed mindset, a fixed ideology of where you are, or anything really, you can't even allow your brain to look at the possibilities of moving forward. But a growth mindset just says, I'm stuck. This is a challenge, but I can overcome it. I have the resources to overcome it. I have the ability to overcome it. I can change my mindset tomorrow and I can overcome it. I can put a habit into place. I can change a certain behavior. So there's always possibilities when you have a growth mindset to tackle things differently. So yeah, I mean, I need to go back and read the rest of the book. All the books, if I don't get a chance to like read them within the week that I review them, I read enough chapters so that I get an idea. There's a lot of books that I have read the whole book because they've just been so, you can't put them down. They've just been so fantastic to read. This is a good book. I'm not going to say it isn't. So it's Mindset by Carol Dweck. It's not I just needed, I mean, I get it. I get all of the amount of things she's got in here about like leadership gurus, champions, coaches. Every chapter near enough has got like ideas, and I like that idea of like examples of champions, leaders, celebrities that you can then go away and think, oh, that's something to remember. So it's memorable for that reason. But I just think the information is just sort of forced in. It's like she's squeezed in so much information into the book, which means that you can't remember it all. Or for me, I couldn't get into it. It's like with the book that I read, the other book, Be Your Future Self Now. That has got probably the same amount of information, but how he distributes that in his book means that that's an unforgettable book and it's easy to remember. And it's also how he's worded the chapters, how he puts quotes at the end, where he puts his examples, how he lays out the book. So for me, it's just different. Everyone's different. So I gave it 8 out of 10. So that's still a high score. It probably would have got more if I'd have got into it more. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll be back. Literally, we're halfway there, but I will continue to read books and review them every single week until the end of the year. So thanks everyone for watching, and thanks for contributing to the discussions. Bye.